the new character Lolisa is finally here, and I want to give you an overview about everything this character does, if you should pull for her or not, and who the hell even is Lolisa? I'm Katsuma Gaming, let's get right into it. So, if you watched the Konosuba anime, you've probably seen the episode where Kazuma went to a specific location to get a really cool dream, and then later gets alarmed that something or someone entered the building that Aqua caught, and you can see a Succubus lady just being there and being scared and worried, and yeah, that's Lolisa. That's the new character that we're getting. We're actually getting a Succubus in the game, which seems a little bit weird, but I think it actually makes sense in the context. She actually has way more personality in the different side stories and stuff like that, so there's a lot more to her than just the scene. So for example, she's a really big vanilla lover. She's a big vanilla fan, whatever you want to call her. So she has a good personality. She actually hides herself as a normal adventurer, which is something you can see both in battle and through her 2-star artworks, because even in her 2-star artwork, there's one where you can see her as tarned as a normal adventurer and having her adventurer outfit. And yeah, so she's not just Succubus, she's a special Succubus that actually has some story behind her. Before I actually talk about the unit, want to give you a quick overview about her ultis. First up, her ulti 1, version 1, is an AoE physical attack that gives a party tier 3 physical attack buff, a tier 3 agility debuff to the enemy, and a self tier 2 agility buff. So just that alone seems pretty crazy, right? Duration of the buff here, as you can see, is 12 seconds. By the way, this whole document is my Konosuba Fantastic Days encyclopedia. I made a video about it. If you haven't seen it already, you haven't checked the doc out, check it out. I'm still working on a Google Sheets version, but it takes a while because Google Sheets is Anyway, let's continue. Her ulti 1 version 2 is also a physical AoE attack that gives a party T3 physical and magical buff and a superior party heal. And since Succubus Lolisa is not a normal unit, more like in line with Vanir and other demons, she of course doesn't have a normal heal, she has a special heal that actually can also heal undead. So her heal works with everyone, which is really good. Also duration 12 seconds. Last but not least, she has a fire ulti as her ulti 2 that has a 100% chance to crit and even has a self medium heal. Though in exchange for that, you need 190% gauge to actually use that ulti, so it takes a little bit longer to charge, but these ultis are just amazing. That's also a reason why all of Lolisa units are probably S tier or even better, because they are all just good thanks to her ultis. Anyway, let's ignore all the other units and focus on the one in the middle here, her fire unit, which is her OG unit. And of course, since it's a new OG unit, it's a permanent unit. This is not a limited unit. Keep that in mind. Passive trait is 6% physical attack, so even for auto Lolisa, she's just a good sub. First up, let's talk about a basic. It's 150%, but for that, it also has a self minor heal. So she can heal herself up with basics, which is a first for physical units here, so that's pretty cool. Then the first skill is a random hit. And random hits are, I think, new to Fantastic Days Global version. Simply said, you have a skill that hits 2 times, but the target is random. So if there's only one enemy, of course, it hits both times the same enemy. That's not a problem, but for example, if you use it on a wave where there are 2 enemies, it can hit the same enemy twice, but it can also hit both enemies once. That's the whole gimmick here. You will see the skill way more often in the future because it's just so strong. Like 144% times 2 is like 288% on a skill, which is an insane number. And it also gives a minor heal to the party, which is pretty cool. Last but not least, she has an AoE physical attack that has an HP condition to deal up to 166% physical damage, and it applies a party tier 1 fire elemental buff. And if you've seen already, elemental buffs are pretty good, and she has great ultis, she has a great kit, she has a strong single target skill, she has a decent AoE skill that also buffs your team. What else do you want? Seriously, she's an amazing unit. The team comp right now in the current arena should probably look something like Maid Leah, Lolisa, Fast Migu, so you can also apply the fire damage bonus to her before she uses Ray Gun. Then slot 4 should be Mitsurugi, and slot 5 probably just Butler Kazuma. That should probably be the #1 team here, if you pull for her. as you can see, pros, she has good survival because she can also heal and stuff like that, and she's a multi-purpose tool. The con is not yet in global because there's no fast unit of her, so there's pretty much no cons besides the fact she's a permanent unit. And if you haven't seen already my other video, maybe check it out. It should be linked in the top right, I think. Fast 2.0 is probably beginning of August, so it's hard for me to recommend going for her since she's a permanent unit. I recommend using your free pulls, using your 4-star tickets for her. Try to get her, but don't drop below 75k Quartz, or drop a little bit below so that you actually are back at 75k Quartz once second Ani drops. Because second Ani is just so important, you shouldn't skip it. 3-star units are pretty much whatever. They're good at the beginning, of course, since she doesn't have any other proper subs. But then again, she also works greatly with Fast Aqua to get her ulti up more often and have her ulti loop properly and stuff like that. So her subs at the beginning are a little bit worse side, but it should still be good. Also, keep in mind, she's a new unit, so you need to push bond level, you need to unlock all the trials, you need to unlock her ulti tune buffer if you want to use it, for example, which is probably one of the better solutions here. And she also needs shards and everything like that, so at the beginning she might actually be a little bit worse, maybe? I'm not sure. I still think she's better even with low investment, but keep in mind, you don't have much investment at her at the beginning, so the higher you get, the better she becomes. That's it, that's all. So yeah, if you have any other questions about Lolisa, feel free to ask me. By the way, it's actually officially confirmed that she will be called Lolisa and not Lori anymore. Lori is dead, it's Lolisa time, thank god, Sissysoft. So of course I need to update the doc, but I probably update the doc once it's actually in Google Sheets and everything. So yeah, last but not least, let's check out her rank in the tier list. Pretty obvious, but she's meta unit, she's on fire. With that, Belle probably drops 1 tier lower to a strong unit, because I think she actually pushes Belle out of the team. Though I kept Belle up there for now because not everyone probably pulls Lolisa, so he's still a really good slot 4 unit, don't get me wrong. And yeah, I will make this all more clear, more fixed up everything the moment this whole doc is finally done and in Google Sheets. Again, if you want to check the doc out, I recommend using OpenOffice Calc for that, because I made it in that tool, so it should look there the best. I know there are some bugs if you use Excel, that's why I want to push it to Google Sheets. There's actually a Google Sheets version already up, but it has some images missing because there are some bugs going on and stuff like that. So if you want to see that, maybe join my Discord, it's pinned in there. Otherwise, wait for the full release. That's it, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe. I'm finally YouTube partner, let's go. So every view now counts for me because it actually helps me get some money, which I can just put back into make better, more quality videos, maybe even get other stuff like an editor or just more polls to talk more about units, whatever. So thank you so much for watching, have a nice day, good luck with your summons in case you pull, and see you all in the next one. Bye bye!